thank you for coming along and wanting to tell people how I've been able to help your son. You're a busy mum, you have children, you have a job, and in this recording we're going to avoid any names just so everybody can stay anonymous on this. But thank you for coming along and wanting to explain, to support other parents, to reassure other parents, and maybe other teenagers and children as well. So please, I was helping your son along the way, and how was he before he started to meet up with me?
He was terrible, to be honest, and I don't use the word severe depression lightly at all, but he was severe. He wouldn't get out of bed. He lost interest in life, really. He wasn't going to school, and he wasn't going to school because he was avoiding school to play games. He was just not doing anything. He wasn't washing. He wasn't his friends would message him. He wasn't interested. He wasn't interested in doing things with family. He was just gradually, so he'd always had slight anxiety. That's always been with him. But after the separation of me and his dad, he just kind of rapidly went downhill. And yeah, it was awful. I didn't know what to do. I really didn't. The doctors they were quite helpful, but they weren't helping, if that makes sense. The school were okay, but there was only so much they could do. And it was his own initiative, I think, that when he found you and he said that he was coming to you for help, and very quickly I did notice improvements. It didn't take long to notice changes, like really positive changes.
Okay, that's marvelous. I'm very pleased to hear this, when we as a mother, as a parent, see our children struggling, it hurts. We worry about them, and it consumes our every day, and it affects how we're able to function as parents. Because it always sits within our tummy that our child isn't happy. So it affects the whole family. But to know now that he is doing so well, and how do you feel how is he as a person now? How do you feel you've seen the difference? Have you noticed
I'd like to use, without sounding dramatic, the word miraculous, because if I could have shown someone, I say to his school, because I'm still in contact with the school because my other son goes there, and sometimes they'll ask about how, my eldest is doing, and I just say, if you could see him now, he is smashing, he's acing his A-levels, he works a job, he sometimes works 2 jobs, he's desperate to try new things, so he's doing a bit of acting now, a bit of boxing, he's learning to drive, he's just passed his theory test. And this was a boy that up until he was started to come and do some work with you, couldn't get out of bed, could barely have a conversation. And now he's driving up to Bristol to do acting. It's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm so pleased that I was able to help him, and I'm pleased for you, because it must be a great relief for your family to know that he's back with the strength that he needs to be able to do the daily things, going to college, going to work, and how great that he has this, he's so courageous to be able to travel up to how good.
Yeah, then I think your sessions as well, the work he's done with you has enabled him to be brave to make decisions that aren't easy, but what the things he needed to do and able to feel better. Yeah, I always considered myself, quite well knowledgeable on mental health, and I didn't know what to do. It was awful. And like I said, the results, you could see the results quite quickly. You could see his thinking change, his whole outlook changed, and that was, even after the first session, you could see something. That's why I stepped back, and this is something he had to do for himself, as long as I was supporting him, but I knew he had to continue seeing you and making that choice by himself, and it was like the best decision we ever made. So
how marvelous, how good. And to reassure other parents or other teenagers, what would you suggest, what would you say to these families if they're concerned? Because of course hypnotherapy, people don't know really what it's about. very often, do they? You know, they've heard about stage hypnotherapists, which is more entertainment, and it has maybe put them off, you know. But yeah, what would you say to those parents or those teenagers that would maybe feel uncertain?
Oh, I'd say just try it. Just go for. I'm going to do it. I'm going to, you know, to get over the trauma of my breakup. I'm going to do it because there's nothing forced. It's still holistic. It's still very much person-centered. It's not tricks. It's working with that person and their mental health. And I've never seen anything like it. You know, I know people that have done standard talking therapy, especially younger people, for a long time, and it doesn't work. But this, with my son, it really worked. And like I said, he was bad. He was in a bad way, like dangerously bad. And I don't think anything else would have worked. Mate, I don't know. Well, perhaps it was you, what you did, whatever you'd have done with him, but you did something with him and it connected. And I will always credit you as partly saving my son because he was in such a bad way. He's almost unrecognisable. So to those parents, and I know what it's like, you feel like you've failed, you feel like you've not done enough, and sometimes it's hard letting other people step in what you feel your role should be. But like I said, I'm so glad that I trusted my boy to, you know, to do what he needed to do, and that he found you, that he found Nina, and was able to do those sessions. And if I could do a video of him then, you wouldn't even recognise him now. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah, I know there's such a difference, and I'm so pleased that you let him come because that was, you know, he wasn't 18, and so a parent needs to give consent, and so I really welcomed that you were open to it. Your whole family was supporting it, so I am very grateful for you allowing him that time and that permission. So thank you for giving this feedback. I'm sure this will help other families, reassure other families, and I really wish you a really lovely day. It's lovely and sunny, and I hope you continue into a wonderful holiday time.
Thank you so much for everything.
Happy to. All the best.
Thank you.